how do drug treatment and alcohol rehabs work? It doesn't really matter whether a person has an alcohol or drug problem, the treatment is the same. Some treatment programs are inpatient or residential, whereas other ones are outpatient, otherwise known as intensive outpatient therapy. Rehab itself allows a person to heal. That's the best way simply to put it. It takes somebody out of their life and out of their routine and allows them a chance to change their life. By taking them out of their normal routine, this enables them a better chance of success. They are buffered away from their problems generally, so they can focus on themselves and not worry about those distractions in life, like having to pay the bills, for example. Rehab will do its intake, figure out what your problems have been, what sort of patterns you've had, and as an inpatient one, there's a chance to get to know all the other residents, and this happens fairly quickly because it's people that are part of the solution. Addiction is about isolation, whereas recovery is about connection with other people, and it starts in rehab. So whether people like each other or not is a great way for people to get out of their alienation and isolation, and to present them with challenges to the interpersonal relations, whether they get along or whether they don't. But it's a good idea because of the camaraderie, dealing with disagreements that happens all the time in rehab, especially if people aren't feeling well, but that's part of life, and it's a good, safe place to be to practice new, healthy ways of living. So rehab itself will teach a variety of things, but there are some common threads amongst all rehabs. The first thing is to be open and honest, candid, to put your mask or guard away and to talk about yourself candidly and express yourself candidly. So that honesty is super important. So they call it vigorous or rigorous honesty, to explain what's going on so you're not hiding things. Addiction is all about hiding as well, and recovery is about expressing to others. Then it's learning how to various ways of treatment. So most rehabilitation programs are total abstinence, and there's a reason for this, because our lives generally become unmanageable and destructive for us to get to the point of rehab, and total abstinence is generally the best idea to start with, to at least try it. Now there's discussion about harm reduction, but I would suggest to not even invite that opportunity. I think total abstinence is the way to go, because harm reduction, which implies the person is actively using, it confuses things and complicates things, and most things like with drugs and alcohol abuse, once a person's had a taste, they tend to go back to their old ways. It's like quitting cigarettes. Trying to reduce to just 1 or 2 a day is very difficult. Most people, if they do relapse on tobacco, they end up back to their old quantity within a short order, and that's the same thing with drugs and alcohol. So total abstinence is necessary in rehab. The next thing about rehab, as I already mentioned actually, is a sense of community and belonging, being friends, living life with others as opposed to isolation. There's also to do some readings to learn about addiction. Some of them are 12-step based, other ones are based just on the more recent literature. But learning about self, mindfulness techniques are involved as well, to be aware of ourselves, to be aware of others around us. There's reading materials, as I said, there's journaling about activities and things going on in my life, and there's recreation as well. So again, the recreation is one of those things that we tend to lose in the depths of addiction, but having time to balance our lives and just have a little bit of fun, whether it's playing badminton or playing volleyball outside, playing board games with people, it doesn't matter what it is. It's just having some time to ourselves and balance in life. It's important that we have activities that is not so intense and just for relaxation and camaraderie. Finally, helping others is a part of recovery as well. And of course, this is not appropriate for people who are fresh into recovery, but people who have been there longer can help the newcomers. And there's something to be said about that, and that's also the 12th step in any 12-step program, is to reach out to others, because it tends to help ourselves when we can learn from others about ourselves, we can see ourselves in others, and sometimes verbalizing what we think about recovery helps my own learning. So to summarize it, rehab is about healing, it's about total abstinence. It's about being rigorously honest with myself, to express myself and my feelings, to be part of a community, to balance things out with recreation, and finally to give back to others.